everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name is Acacia. Today I'm doing an original tag. This is the Family of Books tag. I was thinking about how we're all getting ready to see family and be around them, and some of us are probably more stressed out than others, and some of us are probably more excited than others. All good. So the way this is going to work is every person in the family is going to have a book assigned to them. You get the drill. Let's continue. So parent number one. I'm not going to do genders because it's too complicated. I can't. So parent number one, a book that hugs you when you need it. And the book that I picked for that is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. You guys know, love the Jane Eyre. It's beautiful, and it's a favorite, and I love it. And look at the Rhodes Classic Edition. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Love it. The second parent is a book that gives you morals and rules to live by. And for that one, I actually picked a very small children's book. And this is Little Bear. And this is by Elise Homeland Minark. And it's pictures by Maurice Sendak. And yeah. You guys probably know Little Bear. I love Little Bear. Little Bear actually really formed me as a person. I'm not gonna lie. It taught me to be kind and to make friends with people that are different and to love someone unconditionally even when they're weird or sometimes make you mad. Little Bear was just a huge moral thing for me and I loved it so much. And this is just I think a full... it's an I Can Read book, so it's a My First Chapter book. I love this book. I can't put it on my shelf, though, because it has mold on it and water damage, and I don't want it to hurt the other books. It makes me sad. Okay, so now we're going to put that on my knee. And then my younger sibling book, a book that is so cute that it's annoying, and that would be Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. You guys know how I feel about this book. It's good, it's cute, but it's nothing exciting to write home about for me. I found it was something you really had to have the niche of being a fan fiction writer or reader when you were young to kind of appreciate the idea. I also found that the romance was pretty basic. I found that the writing in general was really easy to read, and I just don't think it's worth all that hype that it gets, and it's just so cutesy that I can't handle it. Like, I don't like cutesy. It bothers me. Sorry for all of you Rainbow Rowell fans out there. I respect Rainbow Rowell as a person, same with John Green, but their books are just not for me. Next, we have the older sibling that nothing lives up to. And this is Alice in Wonderland, and this is the pulp edition, and I love this edition. But yes, Alice in Wonderland is that book that I read when I was young, so I used to listen to it on well, we didn't have Audible back then. It was actually on a record player, so I'd lay on the floor and I'd listen to it on that, and I learned how to read through it. Nothing will ever change the fact that Alice in Wonderland is my all-time favorite book because it helped me learn to read, learn to be a literature fanatic. Next book is for the grandparent. It is a book that is full of wisdom and has a strange smell. And that would be Sybil for me. Now, Sybil is not something that I think every human in the world would find wisdom out of, but for me, I went to a bookshop when I was 12 years old on the 4th of July, and I was wandering around an old bookshop that I'd never been in before, and I saw the cover of this and automatically was drawn to it, and I picked it up and I started reading it. And then I understood from the very first, 2 minutes of the book, or first 2 or 3 pages of the book, that she was hearing voices and or was just confused by her life. And I couldn't tell which it was, but I knew it felt familiar, so I picked it up, and my family was very concerned because they didn't know if a 12-year-old should be reading Sybil, but I hid it from them, and I read it repetitively, and I have ever since. And this was the first indication to me that I was different, but I was not alone. And then my aunt is a book that you can read whenever you need to get anger out or feel some sort of strong emotion, and for me that is 1984 by George Orwell. I actually no longer like this edition. And the reason I don't like this edition is because it doesn't feel right in my hands, and I'm very sad about that. I need a new edition of this, and I'm going to have to find one because this is not the original edition that I read when I was in high school. The original edition that I read in high school was actually a library book, so I'll never have that one. But anyway, yeah, this book is the one that I turn to when I really need to feel something and get a lot of anger out, and I actually reread this earlier this week. Then My Uncle is the book that makes me laugh. Well, okay. Then Uncle, the book that makes me laugh. And that would be Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. And yeah, this, guys, if you haven't read this yet, you're missing out on some really special work. This is a, oh dear. La 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 la. Things are falling. This is a signed edition. I found it at my local bookshop and it was signed. Why is that dog-eared? Why is that page dog-eared? What happened? Oh, it's the spoon theory. Got it. I probably should just put a sticky there. But yes, so this is, it's one of my all-time favorite books. It is one of my all-time favorite books. I keep beating it up. I've read this several times. I'm actually listening to it on Audible with my mom right now while we're driving back and forth from Massachusetts for the rest of the month and next month because of family stuff. So, yeah, I love this book. It makes me laugh every single time. And it's a really honest depiction of mental illness, where a lot of other ones kind of sometimes make it look like either there's no light at the end of the tunnel or there's only comedy about it. This is a good meld of darkness and light and what it can be and how it can be treated well, but how it is very hard to treat in general. The last book that I'm going to talk about is The Child in Your Life, and that can be the youngest child in your family, so like a young cousin or your own child, and this is the child or the book that changed your life forever and for the better. And that, for me, would be Charlotte Bronte's Villette. I thought that Jane Eyre was the end-all be-all of Charlotte Bronte, was the end-all be-all of books, and then I met Villette as a book, and I met Lucy Snow, and I realized how much I was missing from Jane Eyre, and I realized I needed more, and I needed depth, and this offered that, and I love it, and it's my all-time favorite Charlotte Bronte here on out. Love. So this will probably be the one I will, as you can see, I'm already on reading number 2 of it. This will be the next book that I start collecting editions of. I will still continue to collect Jane Eyre editions for sure, because it is one of my all-time favorite books, and that will never change. So this has surpassed it, and I will definitely begin to collect editions of this as I love it unconditionally. I really like to collect editions of my favorite books. It means a lot to me, and I really like having several editions of those books, if for no other reason than to show my love and appreciation. Alright guys, that has been the new book tag that I created. I'm going to tag Amanda Center, Adam from Memento Mori. If you want to do this, do it. I know sometimes you feel like tags can be the same questions over and over, so don't feel pressure, but I would love to hear your answers. Restricted section, you are tagged. Hannah Tay, you are tagged. Elizabeth, you are tagged. I just watched all of her videos today. Bookishly Bookish, I think. You are tagged. I will link all of the channels down below that I'm mentioning. Bookishly Bookish is a new channel that I just discovered. She has about 100 subscribers. She's fabulous, you guys. I will link her channel actually at the top of the list, right underneath all of the questions that I will type up. She's fabulous. I love her to death. She's so sweet. She wrote me a very lovely email, and she's the reason that I'm going to be doing another Q&A for you guys talking about my mental illness, because she asked some great questions that I think probably some of you have been curious as well about, and that's going to be the conversation of a Q&A based around how I read with voices. So that's a huge thing. I'm sure that everyone is going to find her very soon, and I'm sure she's going to skyrocket, and it's going to be great and wonderful. Alright guys, I love you all so much. I'm so happy to have you guys watch this video and excited to see all the tags. If I didn't tag you personally, consider yourself tagged. Please go out, do this, have fun with it. I want to see answers. Don't specifically think of these questions as like hardcore questions. Like, these are guidelines. Interpret them how you want. See, you know, books however you want. Let's do some family talk around books. I love you guys. I will see you soon.